Labour hire firms breaking workplace laws. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, I'm Florian.Heise and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I thought we'd have a look at this article from Yahoo Finance. And don't worry, I have my stein of piping hot coffee here. And this one is discussing labour hire firms that are breaking workplace laws. 80% they're claiming here in the title. Now before we go through this, I'll draw your attention to an interview I did with Stewart discussing just the casualization of coal miners. I suggest you have a look at it. It's a good interview and, well, it really paints quite a concerning picture over that industry and some of the practices of the labour hire firms. The problem is, particularly in coal mining, is that there's about 1 million people standing behind you ready to take that job. And they've got these awards in place. These labour hire firms weren't meeting the condition of the awards. And the organisations who claim to advocate and protect the workers' rights were profiteering off it. So I'll put that link up above, or you can just search my website to find the interview. But I suggest you have a look at it. So let's go through this and see what labour hire firms, what they're apparently doing. Around 80% of labour hire firms are not paying workers correctly, according to a new audit from the building watchdog. Okay, so there's two ways we can just take that statement. One, these dodgy labour hire firms are taking advantage of these workers. Or statement two, the system is too complex. I'd argue for simplification, because if you've dealt with an award and all these different time bars and requirements, it can be quite frustrating. And that adds cost to business, everyone. That adds cost to business that people don't appreciate. If you've gone through the Toyota award, the award the workers had there, all the complexity of it, it was just crazy. And that is all additional costs and overheads. And I know we'll get the idiots in the comments going, well, if you can't run a business without, you should shut the doors and shut business, because these idiots don't realize that business is what employs people, not government. Government just steals money and redistributes it. Sometimes you have to work for that redistribution, but, that's how it happens. The Australian Building and Construction Commission has recovered $563,000 for 1,337 employees following a major audit. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some dodginess in construction done completely intentionally as well. The audit of 63 labour hire employers in the building sector found only 21% were upholding all of their workplace payment regulations. Most employers fell short when it came to keeping proper records, providing pay slips and paying workers correctly. Well, I think some part of that could be just the nature of the work. Working on site, working remotely, going from one to the other. You'd hope, though, that there'd be apps and things to make it a lot easier to keep those records, but I can appreciate the difficulty in it. Wage underpayment was the largest problem, with 64% shortchanging workers. The precarious nature of labour hire employment means workers are less likely to speak up about their working conditions, Commissioner Stephen McBurney said. Well, he's right. People want to keep their jobs. The employers that we audited participated willingly and agreed to rectify any anomalies the ABCC discovered and change their systems to ensure they comply with Australia's workplace laws. Well, see, that tells me this has got more to do with the complexity of the legislation than it has than it would be a desire to rip off people and hide from these organizations. What do you think, everyone? You think I'm jumping to conclusions there, but they're willingly participating? That doesn't sound like someone who wants to hide, massive ripping off of people. That, to me, says that it's very complicated. The ABCC said labour hire generally operates in a triangular arrangement which sees labour hire firms supply workers to employers for agreed fees. And while this allows a flexible approach to the engagement of labour, the high level of non-compliance in the building sector is disappointing. Employers that profit from a business model designed to relieve others of their lawful obligations should be beyond reproach, the audit report said. They all willingly participated in this audit. Most of the underpayments were triggered by employers not paying minimum shift lengths, commuting and meal allowances, or updating wages to meet the award rate. One underpayment was $19,000. So there you go. This is all these additional things. All these additional things. Meal allowance. I mean, commuting a meal allowance. Shouldn't you just be paid more per hour? What if it was just simplified? You know, you got this, all of these things, it just adds complexity. What about just a flat rate? The ABCC said all firms caught doing the wrong thing had made the required back payments. The employers that we audited participated willingly and agreed to rectify any anomalies the ABCC discovered and changed their systems to ensure they comply with Australia's workplace laws, he said. So, union slams the finding. Well, see, this is the thing. I mean, have a look at this interview, guys, and just look at some of the union relationships to all of these labor hire businesses. So I've well, of course they're going to slam the finding, but unions have profited from similar things as well, particularly in coal mining. Construction, Forestry, Mining, Maritime and Energy Union National Construction Secretary David Noonan blasted the findings in the ABC response as a cover-up, noting that no labour hire business were penalised. You know, well, maybe they all willingly participated, everyone. Or maybe they didn't have any choice as well. If they're knocking on your door saying, yeah, we want to audit your business, what are you going to do? Say no? Then they'll audit you anyway. The ABCC has revealed 80% of construction labour hire companies are stealing wages from their workers, and they've all paid them back. So how many companies did they prosecute? Not one, he said. Morrison's watchdog is a pit bull against workers and unions, and a shih tzu when it comes to wage theft. Well, no, they've all gotten paid. They've raised $500,000 for these workers. What do you think, everyone? What do you think? Do you think this is saying that, well, it's to... I mean, on a construction site, you want labour hire firms because you want the flexibility. I'm sure there are a lot of people that enjoy having the flexibility of going from one site to another. I'm sure there's some people who would prefer to be full-time employed, but it's also not... It depends on construction, guys. It depends on how many projects you have lined up. And there's a lot of advantages that they have. You've got the freedom. You can move around. You can get more work. Do you think this is a sign? You know, let me know in the comments. How many of you think this is a sign that the legislation around these employments is too complicated, or do you think this is systematic ripping off of people? I should put a vote up in the community section so we can see. I'd say it's a bit of both. I'd say there's some of them. Honestly, there will be some dodgy players out there taking advantage of this system. I think there'll be a lot of workers that wouldn't appreciate everything they're entitled to just because it's so complex. I think a lot of people would just like a simplified system with all these, commuting allowances and minimum shift lengths and meal allowances. I mean, aren't they contractors anyway? Isn't that how it's meant to be? You get all the advantages of that too. We'll have to see. Let me know in the comments, everyone. I mean, it's my experiences as a small business person, so all of these things are just luxury items that you don't really get in small business. But you get other perks as well. You get freedom, you get independence, you get the ability to make even more if you work yourself and you work hard. But there are some systematic issues with labour hire. But there are some industries that just need it, just with the type of work it is and the way projects are run. What do you think? As always, please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Have a look at the video I did, interview with Stewart. Let me know what you think about that. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via using our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy our merch at HeiseSays. You can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or you can support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.